Hey everybody, hope you're having a great Sunday. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Bob Trihy. Time for another edition of Weather 101, and this time around we are talking about snow ratios. You may have noticed with this past snowfall that we had just very sloppy snow. It was just moisture laden, and it really depends on several factors as we look at the snow ratios. It's the temperature, it's the humidity. So let's start with 34 degrees and snow. If you have a lot of moisture with that, that's typically going to be a lower ratio, around 5-to-1, where we're looking at around 20 pounds of cubic feet of snow. So that is a lot of snow. And then we go into the drier range. Say the temperature is a little colder, around 30 degrees, and that's going to fluff up the snow, and that's what we call 10-to-1 ratio snow. And that's typically the benchmark for measuring snow is 10-to-1. So that's around 10 pounds per cubic foot of snow. So it's not as heavy as the 5-to-1 ratio snow. And then the fluffiest snow of all, a lot of times you'll see this in the West and the Rockies, 20-to-1 ratio snow. So say it's 18 degrees and snowing, that snow could really fluff up. This is typically something we don't see in Delmarva, the snow this fluffy, but it's very easy to shovel, the 20-to-1 ratio snow. So that is dry snow, and that's light. That's about 3 pounds per cubic feet. So just to review, the 5-to-1 snow is very wet snow, once again around 20 pounds per cubic feet, and then the fluffier snow is 10-to-1 ratio snow, and that's typical snow that we see. And then finally, it's the dry snow, about 3 pounds per cubic foot, and that's the fluffy snow. That's the snow that we like to see that is not so heavy to shovel. Of course, the snow that we saw recently was more like a 5-to-1 ratio snow. So hopefully that clears things up a little bit as far as snow ratios go, and I hope you enjoyed this edition of Weather 101. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Bob Trihy. Have a great day.